Welcome back to Clear to Respond. Before we carry on with our topic of dryer fires, we're going to do a regular component of the show that's called Sirens in Your Neighborhood, and that's where we review the activities of the Barrie Fire and Emergency Service over the last 2 weeks. All right, so let's go to those statistics. And as you'll probably see on your screen shortly, in the last 2 weeks alone, we responded to 7 actual fires. We responded to 30 occasions of alarm sounding. Here's a good stat, Sam.
I love it.
No outdoor burning.
There's some benefit to minus 23-degree weather.
And 4 feet of snow. Who'd have thunk it? On the other hand, the CO alarm count was up again. 15 occasions where we responded to carbon monoxide detector
And what we
sound.
really want to do is make sure that people have CO alarms and clear the snow away from their vents so that you don't have a buildup of CO in your homes.
Very good. In the last 2 weeks, we responded to 43 occasions of vehicle accidents, at which 2 required the jaws of life be activated. We had
And that's a negative to the minus 23-degree weather. The roads are slippery. Slow down.
That's right. All right. We had 1 elevator rescue. And as usual, medical tops the list. In just 2 weeks, 203 responses for medical emergencies. We had 9 occasions of gas leaks and spills and 14 other incidents, various incidents where we may be having road closures, wires down, things like that, flood
Assisting
situations.
other departments.
Yeah. So we're back to our topic.
And our topic, on our way here, we heard the trucks going out to a call for an appliance fire.
Yeah. As we came here to the studio from headquarters, the guys were responding to a dryer fire, Jeremy.
Wow.
Makes you know that you're going to be employed for a long time.
Yeah.
We thought that they might have heard about the show and what our topic was and were staging it for us, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
And we're really actually talking about dryer fire safety, not dryer fires, because we want to prevent fires from happening, which is what your company does.
Right.
And the one thing that we've seen, whether you're looking at Ontario stats, Canadian stats, or through the National Fire Protection Association, the most common cause in dryer fires is poor maintenance or no maintenance.
Right.
So that's where your company comes in.
Yeah.
And we saw a couple of pictures of the drum and the lint buildup. And I know I've had an experience with, you know, the wonderful underwire bras?
Mm-hmm.
When that underwire pokes through, that's why you're not supposed to put your bra in the dryer, but it pokes through, it's metal, it gets really hot, and if there is lint buildup,
Right.
I'm sure that that's the only spark that it would need for starting a fire.
Yeah. And you know what? That's not only it. In the dryer, there's moving parts, right? You've got a drum, you know, rotating, and it's vibrating, and you never know, a wire could come loose, and if that hits the drum, it arcs, it starts a spark, that could start a fire. On top of the heating element being there, there's just huge potential to start a fire inside your dryer.
Because this stuff is really flammable.
It's very flammable.
Jeff kind of laughed at me because I told him that at our house, I have 4 teenagers, so we do a lot of laundry, and we keep our lint, and we use it to start the fire in the fireplace. That's our actual fire starter.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, there was an article in Explore magazine. It's a Canadian magazine with regard to camping, and they listed 8 common household items that would be used for starting a campfire. And the number 1 and number 5 reason involve dryer lint because they recognize just how flammable it is.
See, I'm not crazy.
In our house, guilty. Most of the time, the reason for the really loud dryers is because coins have come out of my pockets and they're tumbling around in there. Is that dangerous?
You know what? I wouldn't worry too much about that. You know,
paper
because
clips, things like that might be different.
yeah,
They could
see,
poke in the drums, I guess, too.
yeah, and the thing is too, a coin is not. In a lot of dryers, you'll see little holes in the back of the drum. Now, a coin might not be able to get through there, but maybe smaller things, metal, that could cause a spark, yeah, that could definitely be a potential hazard.
So one of the things that, as we're talking, that our viewers are seeing at home is this is a video off of your website, which is, do we have your website written down, or do you want to tell us what your website is?
Yeah, it's Dryerfightersinc.com.
Dryerfightersinc.com. And this is a video that you have posted there. And it shows, I guess, what your technicians do when they go into somebody's house.
This is a typical condo, stacked units.
That's right, yep.
And you could see, like, I would think that the person that lives in this condo, it's not easy to pull these units out to get behind it and clean it.
Right. And not only that, you'll see he has a vacuum, but in his other hand, he has a wand with compressed air. So there's even areas that you can't see with your eye, but with that compressed air, he's able to blow out the lint that's hidden in any kind of nooks and crannies.
Does it get past the filter?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always getting past the filter. Like you'll see, this is where the filter is in this dryer.
Yep.
And obviously, usually the homeowner will take it out and clean it just so it looks good for us when we get there. But still, you'll find tons of lint in the dryer itself.
Now, he's blowing the lint and he's trying to vacuum it up, but I notice he's wearing a mask, like just an N95. But is that, so would a homeowner expect to have the lint blown all over their house? What happens there?
No, we're very careful in how we use it. We always clean up after. Yeah, so how he directs the wand, he makes sure that it's not blowing lint all over the place, and we're always very careful to suction it up too with the vacuum.
And it looks like he's not just vacuuming inside. It looks like he's doing underneath as well.
That's right. He pulled the panel down and to get it into the electrical components. Now on that dryer, it's a little bit easier. Thankfully, sometimes when we see this dryer, we're kind of happy because everything is there. You just pull the panel down and he's able to reach almost everything. And some you have to pull out the dryer, the drum, you have to take the whole thing apart, whatever.
But you would never want a homeowner taking that off to try and do this themselves.
No, definitely not. You might be calling a repair guy to come put it back together for you. Our technicians are trained to work on any and all dryers. They can take them apart completely. However, they can take it apart as much as they need to reach all parts of the dryer to clean out all the lint, and they are trained to put it all back together so it's working perfectly again.
Unlike most firefighters, we're just really good at taking things apart and not putting them back together again. So you go in and so you don't actually have to physically pull the unit out of the tight space?
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to pull it out. Sometimes the only way to properly access the dryer is to take the panel off the back. So, you know, whatever we need to do, we can do.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't really get a chance to get into talking about, that's just the dryer, but we still need to talk about the vent and how that works. Yeah. But we have to go to a break. Okay. And when we come back, we'll talk about that some more. You are watching Clear to Respond on RogersTV.com. We are talking about dryer fire safety, and next show we'll also be talking about dryer fire safety. So if you have a question, you can send it to us at cleartorespond@RogersTV.com. And you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We'll see you right after this break.